My mom enjoys being mistaken for my girlfriend, wife. So when people do mistake her as my girlfriend, wife, she doesn't correct them and doesn't want me to correct them. Because she appreciates the compliments and the fact that people think she looks younger boosts her self-esteem. I get it, but I'm not some random young guy. I'm her son, so it makes me feel grossed out and uncomfortable. I've told her I hated it, but she doesn't listen. What can I say to convince her?
Yeah, happens a lot with me and my mom too. We get this all the time. She's flattered, and takes it as a compliment of her physical appearance. While I find it cringe.
I 60M took my mother 86F to the hospital. They thought I were her husband. My life is ruined.
It's clear the is taking the compliment that she looks young. She may not even realize she is creating an awkward situation. Just an idea, but maybe next time she is mistaken for your GF wife, tell them she is your sister. It still implies she is young, it doesn't call her out on her age to strangers, and you can avoid the weird Oedipus vibes.
My mom and I were on the cruise. We were mistaken as a couple on more than a few occasions. I looked older than my 18 years, probably a perk of being a well-built football player, while my mom looked much younger than her 35 years, a mixture of genetics and the ridiculously grueling workout routine she had been putting herself through for the past 6 months. So although she was undoubtedly older than me, no one, not even one person, suspected that we were mother and son. My mom enjoyed the compliments and even began to play into the charade that we were a couple as she took my hand while we did a tour of an original colonial city on the second day just to further make it believable.
Just correct them. If she protests, just say, I get that you take it as a compliment, but it feels gross to go along with that.
My son is 16 going on 17, he's a little lighter than me. He's taller and looks a tad bit older than 16, when at the mall shopping or going places. People are always complimenting him on what a fine-looking girlfriend he has. I won't lie, it makes me feel great. I think it's great that I still look young enough to be dating a young man. So I can understand how mother feels. But if she's not listening even after you insisted, it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's a problem.
Just tell her this: if you want to continue pretending to be my girlfriend, you're going to also have to pretend to suck my dick from now on. That'll make her stop. Next time someone makes the mistake, just say, she's not my girlfriend. She's just some cougar who keeps following me. Warning, be ready to run, fast.
Mom is creep. She acts like a kid.
I'd stop trying to convince her. Just correct people. If she wants to fight about it, let her, but don't engage. So she looks like the asshole. 'Cause she is. Tell her that her Jocasta complex is creeping you out, and if she won't stop, you'll cease going places with her.
It's definitely cringe, creepy, but 1, I can't imagine this situation comes up all that often, and 2, at the end of the day, no one is getting hurt. So, I think it's just one of those things that you just have to let go.
Yikes. Awkward. When my son was a teen, people thought I was his GF. We would laugh and blame my good genes or makeup. All teenage boys are emotional roller coasters. Your mother should have an adult conversation about it with you. She should have asked you how you felt about it and if it made you feel uncomfortable. If you're bothered by it, she should take that as a priority. Just like for me, your mother must find it to be a fantastic compliment. I asked my son if he was bothered by it and for his advice, and he respected me for it. And he told me he was not bothered by it. We now joke about it. It's good to have a sense of humor in life, especially about yourself. Greater than she doesn't correct them and doesn't want me to correct them. Well, she's just going to have to deal with you correcting them. You have every right to feel grossed out and uncomfortable. Call it out when it happens, and if she gets mad, just say, Mom, you're getting the compliment you're looking for when it happens, and me correcting them does not take that away from you. I'm not going to stop correcting people, because like most healthy-minded individuals, it's extremely uncomfortable for me to have someone think you're anything but my mom. So you're just going to have to learn to live with that. I'm not going to change my mind about this, and I'm not going to have this conversation again. Get your confidence boost somewhere else. If she keeps trying to extend the conversation or change your mind, just walk away. It's called setting boundaries, and they are healthy and necessary for most adult child-parent relationships.
Middle ground. Next time this happens, say something like, I know she looks amazing, but she's my mom, I hope I got some of her genes. Don't take the compliment away from her, but be very clear about the dynamic if it's important to you.
It's unfortunately not as uncommon as you think. Mothers tend to love this situation, it boosts their self-esteem and they feel young again. It once happened to one of me friends and it was the cringiest possible situation. I would talk openly with her and possibly reach a compromise. It's my sister, cousin. I just hope they don't ask for her number off the bat. LMAO.
I do sympathize with you, that is cringy, but I suspect your response has her hearing, except that you're old and hideous. You have to talk to her and tell her how awful it makes you feel. Oh, hello narcissistic mom. I have one too. Oh, they think we're sisters. Just ask it yourself. Oh gosh no, I'm her child. Or even, robbing the cradle, mom? If you want to stroke her ego, you could say, she looks great, doesn't she? I'm not that nice.
What's your mom's at? That way we can give you better advice.
Ha ha ha, how about you just grow up Abbott instead?
If you already spoke to her in private, I'd start publicly calling her out in little bits when it happens so she stops. Like, ew gross mom, tell them you're my mom. It'll come off as a little joke and you can all laugh it off, but she'll stop pretending because she knows it becomes a joke at her expense. Since she is so concerned about appearances, she should get the picture that this doesn't make her look good. You really can't do anything about it to convince her. Older people love it, and it makes them feel so great about themselves. Last year my mom and I both had the flu and we went to urgent care. She has the brilliant idea for us to get our exam done together in the same room. The doc assumed she was my wife. I was like, sir, this is my mother, and mind you we look alike too. Honestly my mom said nothing, she was beaming like look at that, he think I'm young enough to have a young wife. It happens a lot too. And like you I have told her I hated it. And nothing has changed. So yeah, you can't do anything about it.
Has anyone else seen this porn? Yeah, she can get her compliments somewhere else. Next time it happens, say it nicely, hey mom. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, I'll be right back. Or, that's incest bro, she's my mom. It's not your responsibility to make your mom feel good about herself. The fact that she doesn't correct them is inappropriate.
You could do an intervention. Get another family member to back you up, if you can. If she can see that it is affecting other people that she cares about, maybe she will begin to listen. On the other hand, why do you feel grossed out? Yes, I agree it is a bit weird for strangers to mistake your mother for your wife or girlfriend. But they are strangers. They make one mistake, you correct them, they apologize, they leave, and you never see them again. Yes, she will embarrass you, she will make you feel gross about yourself, she will make you so mad you want to tear your head off. But that is part and parcel of having a mother. And no matter what strangers think, it does not matter to her and it should not matter to you. Just let her feel young and humor her. Next time this situation happens again, go to your happy place.
I've always been really tall and as a kid I was always mistaken being older than what I really was. When I was 12 or 13 this woman gave me and my dad a dirty look in a restaurant. My dad said, I think that lady thought you were my girlfriend. I was horrified. I think you should stress the fact that you're her son.
Why has nobody mentioned the obvious solution? Start kissing her. Stroke her arms slowly. There's no way she'd let it keep going. My mom and I have talked about this before. It used to happen a few years ago because my parents had my sister when I was 18. I had to take her everywhere since she didn't drive and still lived with them while I was in college. The biggest difference is that she felt that she got bad looks from people because they probably thought I was the dad. It didn't help that I loved my sister so much that sometimes I'd say I was whenever I was asked when she wasn't around. That happened rarely though. I guess what I'm saying is that she's obviously not trying to make you uncomfortable, and she should respect that, but it's still harmless, and you also got to think of it from a woman's perspective and the judgment women feel all the time. Just a thought, it could be worse.
Dr. Freud, do you have open slots in your schedule?
Yeah, just start correcting it yourself. Your wife looks really nice today. Thanks, but that's not my wife. That's my mom. Simple. Fuck how she feels.
Wouldn't people be more impressed finding out she is your mother and not your girlfriend? Maybe reframe it. Mom, people are going to respect you more for looking good and keeping fit at your age than they would just thinking you're pretty and my age. are lonely and alone.
Do you happen to have a sister? You could say, so how should dad feel if he is mistaken for sister's husband? Would the same reaction be okay by you?
TBH, I guess I kinda understand why she would feel flattered about the age thing, but it's definitely worth bringing up how she pressures you to not correct them makes you feel wildly uncomfortable. I've gotten mistaken as my older brother's girlfriend once, and my dad's face vomiting on multiple occasions, which is even worse because has gotten dirty looks from neighbors because I'm clearly much younger. I totally get how uncomfortable and gross it feels.
You don't have to say anything to convince her, just correct the people when they say it to you.
This is weird. I'm the mother in this. And people would think my stepson and I were a couple. I will tell you what. It's extremely flattering because I look young and no one wants to be old. However, I correct them. Every single time. I say, oh no. I'm his mom, then they really get confused because we are a different race, so I have to delve in that I'm his stepmom. It's really stupid, but it's my role in his life. He's been my son since he was 4. I'm not going to pretend to be his girlfriend. It's weird as fuck. If this happens in the future, make sure to correct them. Say, no. This is my mom. Lol.
I really think it's just a difference of perspectives, really. No son wants to be thought of like that, but it is going to always be a genuine compliment to the mom. I'm not sure it's a good idea to not correct strangers, but as long as there is no consequence, meaning you're not going to make a longer lasting relationship with these people, then it's not important to correct them, so why let it bother you very much?
I work in a service industry. Honestly, when I deal with two people, I often can't tell what relationship they have with each other. It's independent of how old, young people look, it's more a question of how they interact. Plus at my age I have no gauge on how old people are, I usually guess within 20 years of their actual age. I'm sure your mom's pretty, but it's from my end it's less a compliment and just a wild guess on my part.
But the self-esteem boost has already occurred, so I don't see why stating the fact afterwards would nullify it. If anything, they might give her an even bigger boost by complimenting her for how young she looks after the mistake was made.
It's gross because they mostly don't see it that way and want in your mom's pants, and that is something that is gross to think about as a child, and a mom should really think about your mental health instead of feeding her insecurities.
When I was younger, people who didn't know me thought I was my mom's boyfriend. She's white and really young looking while I am brown from being part Hispanic and older looking. It made my mom feel better about her self-image, so I never made a big fuss about it, but it did happen pretty often.
I am approaching the dreaded 40s, but people have said that my delicate features and build make me look 10 years younger. There have also been a few embarrassing situations when my son had been mistaken for my husband or boyfriend. But they have been an ego boost for me, I have to admit. So I can empathize with your mother, but I still think she should give consideration to how you feel about it.
Hey, try not to worry, it's not about you at all. It's about people mistaking her for younger. It's hard to explain to guys or younger women, but so much pressure is put into women to look young. We are told by society over and over that we lose our value as we age. It gets incredibly depressing. It will be nothing to do with her being okay with them thinking she's your romantic partner, and more to do with insecurities we women of a certain age face. Hope this helps. If however it makes you feel uncomfortable, just talk to her. Or you should speak up. It would be better all round if they mistook her for your sister, I suppose. Why not specify she has to correct them, saying she is your sister rather than your girlfriend, if she really can't bring herself to say mum? Correct them anyway and loudly call her mom and laugh.
Call her out when she does it. It will embarrass her and she will quit doing it. Since she won't listen to you, I don't see any other way to get it through to her.
Tell her people will be more impressed to know she's your mom rather than your girlfriend. It's better for people to know she looks way younger than she actually is than for them to just assume she looks the age she is.
Let her know that you're not Oedipus. If she wants to feel younger, tell her to go onto a dating site like Tinder and post a few pictures. Tell her to say that she's looking for somebody maybe younger. You're her son, it's creepy if she wants to be mistaken as your girlfriend. By any length.
Oh no, you guys. Your mom gets the compliment all wrong. The compliment is not that she is mistaken as your partner. People are expecting you to correct them so they can say the real compliment, this is your son. Get out of here, he cannot be. Really? You look amazing. Milady, you don't look a day older than 25 inches. How's that for a compliment? Let her have this one.